we're off for a bit of urban fox fishing. We know how big the problem is, but let's use it to our advantage. No rifle today. Roy has a Western Rivers fox call on test with 400 howls, screeches and love noises on it. So what works best? Our first port of call is behind a housing estate in Maidstone in the southeast of England. Roy puts the call up in a tree and he starts with a rodent distress. We don't want to upset the neighbours. But it's the sexy vixen that brings our fox out into the open.
The fox came walking out no more than 25 yards away, giving us the perfect opportunity for a shot with a shotgun or a rifle. So obviously we wouldn't be using that here, but yeah, I'm pleased with that one. We'll move on and see if we can find a big boy.
It's a good start, but before it gets dark, we want to try a bit of waste ground behind more housing and a park near the hospital. There are no foxes, but plenty of jackdaws and crows. Remember, you can't shoot crows on the call, so don't get any ideas. After a cuppa, our summer evening entertainment commences with a golf course on the way back into town. Call may be a mashy, niblick kind of call, but it's on top of the car, so we're a bit obvious.
So we started off with a territorial fox call and we didn't get any callbacks or any response from that. So I then went back to the vixen that's being mated and all of a sudden we got a response from way off and the fox came right back in towards us. But unfortunately I think it picked up the reflection from the light from the camera on David's face, so it saw something here that it didn't like and was watching for a little while but just didn't want to come any closer. I mean, where it was probably 70-80 yards away, so with a rifle in superb range for shooting, but it just tucked off into the woods there because it could see the light reflection from the camera. But again, working superbly.
This is all well and good, but we need to turn up the heat a bit and get proper urban. To think like a fox, we need to eat like a fox. A kebab calls, and we settle down at the back of the local leisure centre to enjoy our feast.
We know that foxes do predate very heavily on doner kebabs in this area, so we thought that the aroma drifting through the car park along with the call would probably be quite a good combination. Shh, be very quiet. We're hunting foxes. Seriously? I told you, it's kebab. That's the scent of the kebab. You don't need a call, just a big fat ass kebab. Oh man, how many foxes are there? On a serious note though, it really does just go to show and highlight the problem of the urban fox. We've got so many around. We're literally just sitting here talking about foxes and one walk straight in front of the car. All right, we'll see if we can get Limpy to come back. I'm not talking about me.
With our hunger satisfied, we hang the call from a tree branch. Within 2 minutes, the clean vixen call does the trick again. We have 2 inquisitive foxes.
We had the Limpy fox that came out and went past from the smell of the doner, and then we've played the caller here, and these 2 foxes have come in, so we had another pair of foxes come in from the left-hand side, and with everything going on, it is just absolutely amazing how many there are.
They both stick around for ages and only start moving on when some girls walk by. Back on the streets, we see more foxes in the headlights, and we're now in double figures for the night. If only we had that rifle. Oh yes, of course, urban area. Our last stop but one is the playground. We balance the call on the railings and settle back to see if anything bites. Here the foxes come in from all directions. Some are bold, others more cautious. Again, Roy runs a few of the calls. It is the softer ones that bring our most confident customer in closest.
Well, we had a fantastic response yet again. And when you think that all the calls that we've done tonight are in probably within a range of about a mile, so we've hardly travelled anywhere. We're just picking a few little spots. So little kiddies play area. We've had car parks and near the swimming bars as well. I knew there were a lot of foxes, but what we're seeing tonight is extraordinary. And by doing this, we're learning so much about the fox's behaviour, whereas normally they'd start coming in, we'd shoot them, the job's done, and you don't get to witness the behaviours. With this, it really is fascinating watching exactly what's going on. And you can see the individuality of the foxes. So one of the foxes came in, wasn't overly happy and was just sort of glancing back and forth in the background, and others will just come in, sit down and sort of quite happily look around.
It's been an amazing 3 hours and the foxes are plentiful in this town centre. Our last stop is in a shopping centre car park. Without fail it generates interest. This confused fox eventually heads off, but then Roy brings it right back to us.
That's another limpy fox. Well, that was an amazing couple of hours. We had another one just come in behind us here. You could see it searching around, trying to figure out what was going on, looking at the call. So for a shooting tool, if we were shooting in this environment, we would have accounted for every single one that had come in. As I say, I was expecting to see a lot, but we've seen a lot more than I thought we were going to come across in a very, very short space of time in a relatively small area.
So the urban fox is alive, well and prospering, and although a cold kebab will suffice, they like the sound of the traditional dishes too.